everybody, and a warm welcome to you from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The second quarterfinal today in the Concacaf Gold Cup features record winners Mexico taking on rivals Costa Rica. And here at AT&T Stadium, 88 degrees here, 6-mile-per-hour winds gusting through. And this is the final quarterfinal of this day of Concacaf Gold Cup action. We've already seen Panama advance to the semifinals. Another semifinal place will be claimed tonight, either by El Tri or, of course, by the Ticos. Let's take a look at Mexico's progress into the knockout stages. It began with a brilliant 4-0 win over Honduras on match day 1. They backed that up, beating Haiti by 3-1 on the second match day. They won Group B despite a loss to Qatar on match day 3. Qatar bowed out earlier today. Costa Rica got off to a bit of a slow start. Panama beat them on match day 1. They're now in the semifinals, of course. A disappointing 0-0 followed against El Salvador, but then a 6-4 win over Martinique in the highest scoring game ever in Gold Cup history followed, and that has seen Costa Rica go through in second, and they have advanced to this quarterfinal tonight. Well, Mexico tend to dominate when they get to this stage of the competition. In their recent history in quarterfinals, they have been excellent. They've outscored their opponents 14-2 in their last 8 Gold Cup appearances. Costa Rica has scored one of those 2 goals in that stage in 2019. However, Mexico against Costa Rica head-to-head in the Gold Cup tends to favor El Tri. But Costa Rica are hoping to change that history tonight and get to the semifinals of the Gold Cup for the first time since they did it in 2017. Mexico, of course, much is expected. There are many El Tri supporters here in Arlington as expected, but they do have a stiff test in front of them in Los Ticos. Costa Rica know that history is against them, but in knockout soccer, anything can happen. And when these two get together, it tends to provide great drama and certainly great play under big-time circumstances. And not many better places to have this than at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's a big stage, it's a big night, it's a big rivalry in CONCACAF, and it is win or go home between 2 of the best this region has to offer. Of course, in the big picture, Mexico are trying to add a record 9th Gold Cup title to their trophy case. No one has more than their current 8. But of course, with the U.S. on their heels with just 7 Gold Cup wins, they play tomorrow. They are hoping to advance tonight to yet another CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinal after the disappointment in the Nations League. Costa Rica didn't get to the Nations League semis. They want to get back to a major tournament semifinal. Of course, people still remember that great run they made in the World Cup back in 2014 when they got a penalty away from the World Cup semifinals in a loss to the Dutch at the quarterfinal stage. They're back in the big time again, the Ticos, and they're hoping to exact some revenge against Mexico, a team that time and time again has halted them at the Gold Cup. Can they finally get their retribution tonight? Here come the teams at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Mexico on the right, Costa Rica enter on the left. The 2 combatants are in the Coliseum. We will step aside. The anthems, the lineups, and the highly anticipated kickoff between Mexico and Costa Rica are to follow. Well, a great rendition of both the Mexican and Costa Rican national anthems here inside of AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Let's meet the teams for both in this big quarterfinal matchup. We begin with El Tri. Jaime Lozano's Mexico looks like this. Guillermo Ochoa, of course, is in goal. The back line is very strong as well. Cesar Montes, Edson Alvarez leading the line there. What a tournament it's been for Luis Romo. Had a brace on match day one, along with Orbelin Pineda and Luis Chavez have all been on the score sheet so far. Jesus Gallardo, Henry Martin, and Uriel Antuna will hope to lead the line for Mexico and lead them in to the semifinals yet again. Here are our match officials here. Said Martinez leads a mostly Honduran officiating crew. And the two captains meet in the middle. Of course, Guillermo Ochoa captaining Mexico as always. And Celso Borges as the captain's armband for Costa Rica. Our VAR officials for this quarterfinal: Chris Penso of the United States and Selvin Brown of Honduras. For Costa Rica, under coach Luis Suarez, here is how they line up. Kevin Chamorro is their starting goalkeeper in front of a back line with some notables in there, Kendall Waston in particular, with Jeffrey Valverde. All had great tournaments, but it's the midfield where Costa Rica really shines. Joel Campbell, Celso Borges and company, all trying to make sure that Anthony Contreras get some opportunities up front and put enough goals past Mexico to make history and get Costa Rica back to the Final Four for the first time in 6 years. Well, it is a rivalry that is frequent at the Gold Cup, but it has been one-sided. Mexico tend to advance when they meet Costa Rica at the Gold Cup. But Los Ticos hope that they can change the narrative tonight. For Mexico, it's not about getting to the semifinals, it's about getting to the trophy game and winning the trophy game after they couldn't get to the final of the Concacaf Nations League. Much is expected, as always, of Mexico. The pressure is on both teams, and a place in the semifinals makes for what could be a very exciting and enthralling occasion tonight here in Arlington. These two met at this stage in 2019. Mexico advanced on penalties. That's the most recent meeting between these two at the Concacaf Gold Cup. And once again, at AT&T Stadium, in the place where everything's bigger, Arlington, Texas, a big matchup is underway here in the Lone Star State. Costa Rica controls, and this second Concacaf Gold Cup quarterfinal is off and running. Jean St. Jacques here with you. A pleasure to be with you here. Mexico and Costa Rica, two of the best combatants CONCACAF has to offer. They meet again, and it's win or go home at the quarterfinal stage here. Mexico coming off that tough result against Qatar by a 0-0 on the final match day in Group B. Costa Rica played in the highest scoring Gold Cup game ever last time out, beating Martinique by 6-4. Orbelin Pineda controls here for El Tri, outside of the penalty area. Valverde is on the cover, overlapping run, sees a cross come into the middle. And I was just gonna say, did that trickle out of play? And Sayed Martinez does point for a goal kick. There is Jaime Lozano. Jimmy, as some call him affectionately, interim head coach for Mexico, knows his team needs to respond after that tough defeat by a 0-0 against the now eliminated Qatar last time out. And Luis Suarez looks on for Costa Rica. It was a wild affair against Martinique, but they got the result they needed to climb up from the bottom of Group C and into the knockout stages. So work defensively to do here. Waston couldn't quite definitively clear that, and Romo's cross is blocked. It's a throw-in for Mexico on the near side after Christopher Nunez was on the cover for Costa Rica. Mexico scored inside of a minute to begin their tournament against Honduras. Romo, number 7, on the ball briefly there for Mexico, scored the goal, had a brace in that 4-0 win. Mexico want to go for the jugular early again here. Sanchez plays it back. Edson Alvarez recycles it to the back line. Winner gets to go to Vegas for the semifinals. And the winner will get either Jamaica or Guatemala. It was Uriel Antuna from Mexico. Decent ball into the middle. It was a searching ball as well. In the end, headed away from Francisco Calvo. Kept in by Sanchez. In the end, it trickles into the path of Josimar Alcozar. He's able to control things for the Ticos here. Costa Rica in a 4-2-3-1 to begin this game. Mexico starting out things in a 4-3-3 formation and looking for a fast start again. Pineda dispossessed by Joel Campbell. So much experience for him in a Costa Rican kit. He's had some huge moments at major tournaments, most notably that 2014 quarterfinal run at the World Cup for Costa Rica. Mexico won their group just ahead of Qatar on 6 points. Saw earlier about the 4-0 win against Honduras. They had the 3-1 win against Haiti, and everyone expected them to continue their great form against Qatar. It didn't happen. Mexico created so many chances, it must be said, in that game, but Qatar, with just one shot on target the whole game, they made it count. They won by a goal to nil, although it must be said, Panama began the knockout stages with a resounding 4-0 win earlier today to knock Qatar out. And Panama await the winner of the US and Canada, who play tomorrow night. Romo poking it through here. Henry Martin sliding it through as well. It's a big early chance! And it's sent wide of the post in the end by Jorge Sanchez. Did Kevin Chamorro get a piece to that? We're about to find out. And actually, Sanchez might have been offside there. We might not know for sure. Goalkeeper made the save. In the end, it is a corner. Chamorro did get a glove to it. And referee Syed Martinez just making sure everything stays civil inside of the penalty area. Martin getting into it a little bit there with Francisco Calvo. Brief reminder of how important the occasion is. In by Chavez. Ooh, it was nearly a free header for Alvarez. It skims off the top of his head. Wasn't quite able to really redirect it. And Mexico recycled the possession all the way back to their captain, Guillermo Ochoa. Well, for Costa Rica, it was a bit more nervy, their trip through the group stage. It's actually Costa Rica's 13th consecutive knockout stage appearance tonight at the Gold Cup. Looked for a little while there that they might not make it, but the 6-4 win against Martinique was enough to send them through on match day 3 after the 0-0 prior to that against El Salvador. And if match day 1 told us anything in that group, is that Panama mean business at this Gold Cup, and they showed that once again in our first quarterfinal tonight. Early pressure that Costa Rica has had to deal with. As probably expected, Mexico were expecting to be out on the front foot. They have been, as Ochoa secures with Alcocer lurking. Can Costa Rica create the chances? That is the big question, along with the fact that, again, they did score 6 against Martinique, but they did let in 4. Can they be defensively strong against Mexico tonight? And also, Mexico's clinicalness has been called into question after they didn't take their chances against Qatar, but it is a knockout stage game. A lot of times you tend to throw the numbers out. It's who can come through in the big occasion, and both teams have plenty of players who have done so before and will do again. It's whether or not they'll do it tonight. That is the question. It's a marauding run from Edson Alvarez, who was brought down. Referee allows play to continue. Antuna serving it down the line here on Pablo Vargas. He's on the cover, but loses out to the pressure from Luis Romo. It is a throw in here for L3 on the near side. Again, it's the 6th all-time meeting between these two in the knockout rounds at the Gold Cup. Sanchez into the middle, just over the head of Pineda, who was waiting for it to come down into his path. Anthony Contreras is all the way back to help for the Ticos, does his job. And Costa Rica do clear their lines here. Christopher Nunez, chance maybe for the Ticos to counterattack here. Campbell, surrounded by Mexican defenders. Campbell goes on, has some support here. A shot does come in, and Ochoa is able to make the save and hold on. Well, great counterattacking play in the end. Contreras is the one that took aim. And Guillermo Ochoa makes the first big save of the match. Campbell does ever so well to be patient. Contreras nearly sneaks it through. But the savviness of Guillermo Ochoa wins the day on that occasion for Mexico. Makes a great save, just got a paw to it. And then reads it ever so well with Alcocer looking to pick up the pieces. Here's Romo, switching the point of attack for Mexico. Orbelin Pineda. He slides it through. Martin. And in the end, he's well covered by Kevin Chamorro. But again, good build-up play from Mexico. Asking questions of the Costa Rican defense. About the history favoring Mexico tonight. Should add that Mexico has never lost to a Central American team at the Gold Cup. So it would be a number of firsts if Costa Rica can win tonight. And the most recent was the 2019 quarters. It finished 1-1, but Mexico won on penalties at NRG Stadium in Houston, and then 4 years before that at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's in the quarterfinals again. Andres Guardado scoring the winning goal. And that sent Mexico through to yet another semifinal, and in that occasion, another Gold Cup triumph. Of course, Costa Rica have had plenty of success at the Gold Cup, but they've never won it. That's another part of the history they're trying to make in this iteration of the competition. They were runners-up back in 2002. That's the best the Ticos have done at the Gold Cup, and they want to get a chance to play in the trophy game again. They could take a giant step towards that if they can knock off Mexico tonight. Cleared away by Johan Vasquez. Bit of a ping pong around in the midfield. Costa Rica does come out with it here. Alcocer again holds up the play nicely here for the Ticos. Controlled by Nunez with some help from Borges, the captain for Costa Rica. Tries an incisive ball through, looking for Contreras. It is cut out. Late challenge there. Referee was trying to play advantage for Mexico. He's brought it back. And it is a free kick as Cesar Montes wins a set piece right around the midfield mark. It was Wilmer Azofeifa who put in the challenge. And in the end, just was waiting on the confirmation from Side Martinez. The booking did come in the end, so Azofeifa has his name taken for this challenge on Cesar Montes. And you can see there he's just a fraction late. And the referee did indeed brandish the yellow card. And Montes did get the worst of that, as you might expect. He is a bit slow to continue, but it's been a bright start for Mexico. However, Costa Rica have had the best chance so far. Anthony Contreras forcing a save out of Guillermo Ochoa. Luis Suarez and company hoping that tonight could be the night they exercise some demons against El Tri. This has been Mexico's competition. It still is. They are the record holders. And they are hoping to take another step towards another Gold Cup crown tonight. Looks like Cesar Montes for now. He's okay. That is good to see. And Mexico will restart the play. Sean St. Jacques here with you. Second of 4 quarterfinals over 2 days at the Gold Cup. Panama have already advanced to a semifinal and a second straight major tournament. Fair play to them. Resounding 4-0 win over Qatar earlier, and Mexico are in behind here. Fair challenge from Juan Pablo Vargas, but it is a corner for Mexico upcoming. Of course, 2 quarterfinals tomorrow. The U.S. defending champions against Canada, and then Guatemala. What a tournament they've had. They take on the Reggae Boys of Jamaica, who have certainly been a big-time contender at this tournament. Chavez from the corner, and in the end it's very well read. Chamorro is able to catch and distribute for Costa Rica. Lovely defending there initially by Edson Alvarez, but the ball is won back. Here's Campbell. Play continues. Ticos continue on here. Chance to cross this into the middle. Contreras sees it blocked away. Contreras gets it back. Alvarez on him. Campbell tries to spin his way out of trouble here. And a late leg left out by Contreras sees Mexico win a free kick through Jorge Sanchez. Anthony Contreras continues to be very bright here. Although there he does clearly commit the foul. After Joel Campbell tried to play his way out of a tough stretch there in close quarters. Here's the great initial run from Contreras. Johan Vasquez was there to thwart the cross. Well, for the bright start Mexico have had, when Costa Rica have gone in transition, they have been threatening. Make no mistake about that. It was floated to this near side, headed centrally. Romo trying to get it back into the path of Antuna. Headed back to Antuna again, who just runs out of space there. Borges comes out with it for Costa Rica. Alcocer looks to lead the break, and he's in tight quarters. He's brought down, and the Ticos win a free kick. Another look at it here. It's another late challenge, it must be said, this time by Jorge Sanchez. He apologizes, and we will play on with a Costa Rican free kick. No further action, just the foul, it appears. Sent forward by Juan Pablo Vargas, but it is picked off. Uriel Antuna, he's brought down. Referee is on the scene. It is a free kick to Mexico. Calvo gives away a set piece here. We'll push in a chase. Antuna, and Calvo, to be fair, does stick a leg out, doesn't he? And Antuna tumbles over the top. See there, the possession does favor Mexico, but Costa Rica, you could argue, created the better of the chances in these early stages of this quarterfinal. Costa Rica have defending to do here from a set piece. Luis Chavez has a wand of a left boot, but Orbelin Pineda is certainly capable here as well. Who is it going to be for El-Tri? It is Pineda. It's a dangerous ball. It's headed centrally. Romo cushions it. Headed away by Azofeifa. Referee stops the play. Oh, and the flag was up anyway. And the entire sequence is negated. Well, it must be said, Pineda's ball in was deliciously placed, but you can see there, offside flag is rightfully up against Cesar Montes here. And the sequence is halted rightly. Back by Contreras. He's been bright for Costa Rica so far. Nice turn in the midfield there. The Ticos keep it going. Campbell trying to thread it through Alcocer. Not able to get there. It's well defended by Sanchez. Recycled. Campbell keeps it in for Costa Rica. Nice little give and go as well. Nunez. In tight quarters does well. Alcocer tries to find space. Sanchez is there once more for Mexico. But Calvo wins it back to stop a Mexican counterattacking opportunity. Luis Suarez's group can reset with possession at the back. Kendall Waston trying to find Contreras, who slides but sends it out of play. All time in Gold Cups, regardless of knockout stage or not, Mexico has never lost to Costa Rica. 5 wins, 3 draws all time. It is the 9th overall meeting, 6th in the knockout stage between these two. It has been a one-sided rivalry, at least in the Gold Cup. Costa Rica want to change that tonight, exercise the demons. We will see. Chavez takes aim, it takes a deflection. On the way through, it also took the sting out of the shot. Jaime Lozano encouraged. Kevin Chamorro easily able to corral in the end. Luis Chavez. We know how well he can strike it with that left boot, not only at this tournament, but at the most recent World Cup as well. His goal against Saudi Arabia was one of the goals of the tournament on that final match day in the group stage. Of course, Mexico did not advance to the knockout stage at the World Cup, a rarity. That doesn't happen very often. They normally get there. Adding on to what is already a tense night for El-Tri. They know they need to win this to advance to the semifinals. Costa Rica in these early 20 minutes of the game are showing that they are more than up to the contest. Campbell weaves his way through 2 defenders and wins a set piece for the Ticos. Omar Azofeifa gets the set piece ready here for Costa Rica. Can they land the first blow? Azofeifa slipped as he sent it in. Oh, it's dangerous! And it was touched by Sanchez, I think, on its way through. Contreras was lurking as well. Ochoa could only watch as it went wide of his goal. Well, Azofeifa, I don't think meant to put this here, but you can see there Sanchez does get, oh, beg your pardon, Luis Chavez got the touch to that. On the back end, and Ochoa sees it go out for a corner here for Costa Rica. Azofeifa sends it in. Headed high into the air. Chavez wins the second ball. It's not definitively cleared. Headed back in. Headed down into the path of Calvo. And the offside flag is up. A good spell there from the Ticos, but not able to create a definitive chance. In the end, Mexico do the job defensively on 2 separate moments. Chavez involved in both of them on the defensive side of things for El-Tri. Mentioned Joel Campbell earlier, 3 assists during the group stage. That's actually most at the tournament by any player. No one has more than Joel Campbell. Continues to be there when Costa Rica need him most, number 12 in red. He's had such a great club career as well. Joel Campbell had 2 goals in the 2021 Gold Cup as well. 27 for his international career for Costa Rica in his 131st game for his country tonight. Mexico on the attack here. Antuna. Can he pick somebody out? He plays Edson Alvarez into the play. Nice incisive ball here on this near side. Sanchez, carried by Alcocer. Out of play for a Mexico throw. Romo. Edson Alvarez. Just chipping it in. Sanchez played in. Borges is able to do the job defensively. Campbell dispossessed. Alvarez. Pineda. Still Pineda. Costa Rica come out with it in the end. Campbell tries to lead the break now for the Ticos. Campbell, who's played for Arsenal in his club career, loan spells at Villarreal, Sporting Club de Portugal, Real Betis, Monterrey as well. Currently plays for Leon. His club and country for Joel Campbell, one of the best we've seen over the last decade or so. Alcocer nearly won the foot race there against Sanchez, but Jorge Sanchez just does his job, beg your pardon, there on the near side. And breaks up the play nicely. To the approval of Jimmy Lozano, his coach as well. Alcocer. Borges had some options there. Campbell is one of them. Nice give and go here. Borges and Campbell. Campbell's first time ball in is dealt with defensively by Jesus Gallardo, and it needed to be. Just when you think that Mexico were okay defensively there, Costa Rica's interplay opens them up. And they nearly created a big chance there. Jesus Gallardo there when Mexico needed him most on the back end defensively there. Oh, that ball was nearly given away. Good pressure from Chavez. Been all over the park so far tonight. Chamorro clears the lines for the Ticos. Montes. Ooh, there's pressure on here. Ochoa clears before Contreras could make that a sticky situation for Mexico. Threaded through. Lovely first touch from Pineda, but he's dispossessed. Borges for Campbell. Ooh, and Contreras trying to play Alcocer in. The attack was snuffed out. That's picked off by Martin. Martin looking for Antuna. And Juan Pablo Vargas was well positioned. Boston, who's playing in his 6th ever game against Mexico. This possession's given back. Antuna, Mexico have numbers here. It's Luis Romo across the face of goal, and Juan Pablo Vargas is there again for Costa Rica. El Tri had the numbers advantage there. They couldn't make it count. Now Nunez has to be careful. He's under pressure. In the end, Costa Rica get it upfield, but they give it back to Mexico here. Well, it's certainly been an enthralling contest so far. That's what we were expecting between these two. Both have done their part. We still await the first big goal of the night in this match. Gallardo coming off that big defensive intervention controls with the help of Romo and company for Mexico. Talked about Costa Rica's 13th consecutive knockout stage at the Gold Cup. They've been in 14 straight Gold Cups as well. And on top of that, Borges has scored 5 goals at the Gold Cup. Their captain, 2 at the 2021 edition of the tournament. He's the all-time appearances leader at the Gold Cup as well, Borges, with 28, now 29 if you include, of course, his appearance here tonight. Talked about Anthony Contreras earlier. This is his debut tournament at the Gold Cup. Has scored already for the Ticos in that 6-4 win over Martinique last time out. I think the most impressive part of the 6-4 win for Costa Rica is that 6 different players scored the goals. Talked about Campbell, Contreras, Vargas was on the score sheet as well, Waston, Calvo as well, and Campos on top of that as well for Luis Suarez's group. Of course, Luis Suarez is very familiar with knockout competitions as Antuna's in behind here for Mexico. Oh, big chance. He holds the back of his leg here at the tail end, but he's missed the chance here for Mexico. Ariel Antuna played in with a beautiful ball over the top, and just like that, Costa Rica were opened up. And Pablo Vargas didn't get there in time, and Antuna, to be fair to him, from a tight angle there, couldn't hit the target. Mexico have had half chances like that so far. In the end, Costa Rica lived to tell the tale, and they reset. Just to finish the point, though, of course, Luis Suarez, former Ecuador manager, managed them at the 2006 World Cup. They got to the knockout stages, eventually knocked out by England. They had David Beckham goal to nil in the round of 16. And here Alcocer is brought down for Costa Rica. That is a free kick. Referee gives the Ticos a set piece here, just inside the arc, outside of the penalty area here. Sanchez going in behind Montes as well in the area. Alcocer is clutching the back of his head here. That's where the concern is at the moment. Just to finish Luis Suarez's resume, he also coached Honduras at the 2014 World Cup as well, though they lost all 3 games and were knocked out at the group stage. The irony of the 06 World Cup for Luis Suarez is, at the time, Ecuador, is that they beat Costa Rica in the group stages by 3-0 on their way to the knockout stages. And now he manages Costa Rica in this Concacaf Gold Cup quarterfinal. And they have a big opportunity here from a set piece as we pass the half-an-hour mark in Arlington. And so FIFA is sent into the penalty area for Borges and Campbell to mull this set piece over. Borges shoots, it was deflected on its way through. Nunez recycles it. Calvo serves it back in over Waston's head. Calvo pushes and chases it down the line. Antuna sees it go out of play for a throw-in, and that ends the sequence for Costa Rica. Chavez invites Gallardo into the play here for Mexico with 14 minutes left in this first half. That ball is floated over the top. Martin back into the middle. It was deflected on the way through. Didn't quite fall for Chavez. And Vargas clears for the Ticos. And if we do stay level, there's a long way to go, it must be said. There will be extra time and potentially penalties between these two. Happened in 2019. We'll see if it happens again tonight. Here's Romo for Mexico. Borges stops him in his tracks with the help of Calvo. And Calvo, lovely skill, chips it up and chops it away. He's sent back in for Martin. Pineda trying to chip it over Chamorro. He didn't get it there. Mexico are appealing that there was a challenge on Pineda by the goalkeeper in the middle of that. Referee has blown the play dead here. Will this need to be revisited by VAR is the question. Martin heads this down. Pineda, was he clipped on the way through there? As the goalkeeper, Chamorro, came out. The answer is there's a little bit of contact, but is that enough to see this go to a VAR check? Mexico are asking the questions of Sayed Martinez. The answer is no, we play on. The answer is there is not enough contact to have the referee have another look. I think that's probably the fair decision. Would have been a bit harsh to see that go to VAR for a legitimate decision here. The on-field official would have had to make, and Mexico will have to settle with a corner. Chavez meets the head of Borges. Campbell tried to leave it for Azofeifa. Alcocer in pursuit of Pineda. It is a Mexican throw. Now then, Alvarez. Romo. Sanchez. And Tuna's forced back. He's dispossessed. Campbell turning into space for Costa Rica. He's brought down by Antuna. That's a free kick. He's floated over the top here, looking for Alcocer, who's been active for the Ticos in this first half. Campbell just loses his footing there. Chavez playing Jesus Gallardo into space here. Romo dispossessed by Contreras. Nice turn initially there from Nunez, but he's dispossessed high up the field. Chavez for Mexico. Antuna. Antuna's ball in and away. Valverde on the cover there for the Ticos. More encouragement now for Jimmy Lozano and his staff as Luis Suarez's group's under pressure now. Campbell held up. And Costa Rica have a free kick with 10 minutes left of the 45. Alcocer keeps on going. Stopped in the end by Gallardo, but it is out for a corner to Costa Rica. Another nice run in behind by Josimar Alcocer. So the shot comparison as we get to the latter stages of the opening half of this quarterfinal. Relatively even. Costa Rica, I think, have had the higher quality chances so far. Guillermo Ochoa has had to make a save in this first half. Chamorro has been called into action once or twice as well. Ball is in from Azofeifa. Head into the path of Contreras. Ooh, there was a head-to-head collision. Good spot by Sayed Martinez. Our official here, Calvo and Vasquez collided. The referee is making sure they are both okay. There's it on the back end. Ooh, they do go head-to-head there, quite literally. And in the end, it does appear that Vasquez got the worst of it. Francisco Calvo is up on his feet, and now, luckily, Vasquez does follow. Tuna discussing things over with his coach. And we will start, or restart, I should say, with a drop ball, and Mexico will regain possession out of that brief injury stoppage. Once again, Mexico have created chances. They have had opportunities. Nothing is clear-cut yet is what the two Costa Rican opportunities have provided so far. The two big ones, of course. Miscue there from Sanchez. Gives Costa Rica possession back. Borges, Campbell, Nunez. Alcocer dispossessed by Sanchez and does bundle around a bit there in the middle of the park, and in the end Costa Rica have it in possession. It was great interplay initially, but the last pass there sees Pineda and company regain possession for El Tri. Alvarez dispossessed by Campbell. Alcocer. Celso Borges. Haven't seen too many long spells of Costa Rican possession, but when we have, they've tended to create opportunities from them. Alcocer is the target over the top, tries to pick up the pieces here from Sanchez, and he does. Waits for more red shirts to help him out in support, but Edson Alvarez puts out the fire. Out wide by Chavez. Gallardo thinks better of moving forward. Pineda tries to switch the attack here. Antuna sees Calvo head in front of him and sweep up on the back end. Chamorro clears under some pressure from Mexico. Campbell wins out over Alvarez. Contreras deflected to Alcocer. And in the end, Contreras, I think from following through, he's penalized. And the Costa Rican attack is snuffed out. And Luis Suarez doesn't appear to agree with the referee's decision. Place in the semifinals of the Gold Cup is at stake. Winner goes to Vegas. We'll get a chance to play for a spot in the Gold Cup final. Montez sees that ball cut out. And in the end, after good defensive work initially by Valverde, he wins a free kick for Costa Rica on the back end as well. In the end, it is Jesus Gallardo who clips him from behind. One or two Costa Rican players asking the official of a booking would have sufficed there. It appears we will just play on, and it is a foul and nothing more. Montez couldn't quite keep that in. Costa Rica have a throw. As Jimmy Lozano looks on. We've seen a little bit of the pattern continue for Mexico in this first half. They have created chances just like they did against Qatar, but they didn't take them then, and they haven't taken them yet here in Arlington. Costa Rica so far have done their job defensively, and they've been at times the more likely to find the first goal in this Gold Cup quarterfinal. But it is still a stalemate at the moment. Contreras for Costa Rica and Antuna for Mexico among the big chances so far. Campbell, great work, but Antuna wins the battle and wins a free kick. Mexico get on with it quickly. Chavez has already scored at this Gold Cup for Mexico, did so And the win over Honduras, of course. Luis Romo's brace on match day 1. Orbelín Pineda scored then as well. Jimenez and Martin carried them, along with an own goal over Haiti on match day 2 for Mexico. And the disappointing 1-0 defeat against Qatar, but of course we just saw Qatar get knocked out of the Gold Cup. And Tuna tries to slither that through into the heart of the penalty area. In the end, nobody there for El Tri to really attack it, and Chamorro resets for the Ticos. And then, of course, we have 2 more great quarterfinals for you tomorrow. The United States against Canada in a rematch of the Nations League final. And then, of course, Guatemala. What a tournament they have had. What a fan base they have as well. They take on the Reggae Boys of Jamaica, who have emerged, as expected, as one of the favorites here this 2023 Gold Cup. Panama are already waiting in the semifinals after they advanced earlier tonight. Mexico on the attack here. Edson Alvarez chipping it through. Martin couldn't quite control it under pressure there from Calvo. And it does trickle out of play for a goal kick here. It is a delicately weighted ball, it must be said, by Alvarez, but Martin, who was surrounded, didn't quite control it the way he wanted to. Contreras wins a throw for the Ticos. With a minute left of the 45 in this first half. Can somebody grab the reins here in the latter stages of this first half? Calvo. Referee plays advantage. Campbell, he's brought down by Edson Alvarez. And it is a free kick for Costa Rica. Again, Costa Rica asked where the yellow is. None has come out, at least not yet. Only Wilmer Azofeifa has been booked so far. That was for Costa Rica, of course, earlier in the half. Campbell will take the free kick for Costa Rica. Ball is played in too close to Guillermo Ochoa as we enter 2 added minutes at the end of this first half. Mexico restarts with possession. Joel Campbell had the right idea. You could see what he was trying to do there on that set piece chance. However, he was not able to get it tight enough to his own teammates there. And in the end, Guillermo Ochoa easily reads it and snuffs out the danger. Martin controls here for Mexico. Chavez gets it back. Romo. Alvarez. Romo. Pineda dispossessed Calvo. Calmly done defensively there. Campbell tries to send Alcocer on his way against Sanchez down this near side. Into the middle, it's played beautifully. Ticos up in support. So Feifa, then Borges out wide. Threaded through here, Contreras. Still Contreras. Contreras' cross ricochets out for a Costa Rica corner in the dying embers of the half. As we expected, it is a great crowd here in Arlington. Of course, it is mostly Mexican supporters, also as we expected. There are a few Ticos fans that have made the trek to Arlington. And they're hoping that their boys can land the first blow in this quarterfinal. So Feifa's ball in here. The header does come in. But in the end, Ochoa is able to come up with it as Waston couldn't get enough behind it to really trouble the goalkeeper. Now Mexico in transition at the end of the half. Martin tries to play it through. In the end, Chamorro clears for Costa Rica. And that is how the first half ends in this quarterfinal. Well, Mexico, I think, just about had the better of that first half, at least as far as possession, but the better chances went Costa Rica's way. It is very tightly contested once again between these two rivals, and it's very well poised for the second half. At the half in quarterfinal number 2, it is Mexico 0, Costa Rica 0. Moments away from the start of the second half in this quarterfinal, this 17th edition of the Concacaf Gold Cup. Sean St. Jacques back here with you, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It is Mexico 0, Costa Rica 0. So we're about to start the second pivotal 45 minutes. Costa Rica are out, they are ready to go. Start this second half. They had great moments in this first half between these two CONCACAF rivals. Costa Rica trying to beat Mexico at the Gold Cup for the first time ever at the 9th attempt. Mexico trying to advance to yet another semifinal. The last time Mexico failed at the quarterfinal stage, you have to go all the way back to 2005. And it was invitees Colombia that knocked them out by 2-1. And again, since that game, since the 2005 quarterfinal, go back through the more recent quarterfinals games, 8 of them since then for Mexico. They've only conceded 2 goals in those 8 games. They've scored 14, and they've won all of them. And they have knocked out Costa Rica twice in those 8. 2015, it went to extra time. Mexico won 1-0. Of course, 2019, 5-4 to L3 on penalties after it finished 1-1 after extra time. Long way to go before we get to that stage, but it is very finely weighted as we begin the second half here in Texas. Still very much anyone's game here. It is on a knife edge in this CONCACAF Gold Cup quarterfinal. Costa Rica with history and some retribution on the brain. Mexico trying to continue their stranglehold over this competition. Martin takes the early chance here at the start of the second half. His shot is blocked, and it is out for a throw into L3. Costa Rica had the higher quality chances in the first half, but possession-wise, and maybe the quantity of chances, you could say, went Mexico's way in the first half. Still, nothing separates these two as of yet. Mexico's knockout stage record at the Gold Cup is one of the best. 26 wins, 3 draws, 7 defeats. But none of them to Costa Rica. Costa Rica have never been able to take down L3 at this competition. They're hoping that could change tonight. Can they exercise the demons and finally knock out their rivals, or will it be Mexico yet again in this fixture? Luis Romo controls here for Mexico. Of course, there were no changes for either side at the start of the second half. It is the same 11s for both squads. Chavez chopping one to this near side. Great header into the middle by Gallardo, and it nearly fell for a chance. Boston is able to use a ricochet to get it out of harm's way here for Costa Rica, and it is a throw. Encouraging signs, though, for Jimmy Lozano's group continue. Great ball into the path of Jesus Gallardo on this near side, but cross into the middle. That really has been the missing piece for Mexico recently at this tournament. They can get into the penalty area, but it's their decision-making inside of the 18-yard box that has let them down in these last 120 minutes of play. That's great skill from Campbell in tight quarters. Alcocer keeps the possession alive for Calvo. Now Nunez. Oh, Alcocer, lovely dummy, but Antuna is able to sweep it away. Borges able to control it on Pablo Vargas. Azofeifa. Near side, Valverde. Here is Campbell. He had a bright first half for Costa Rica. Little give and go with Contreras here. Contreras back for Campbell. really creates a chance there. It's still Contreras. Contreras shoots. It's blocked away by Sanchez. Calvo's ball across, trying to find Campbell as he tried to switch the point of the attack, I should say, and Gallardo comes out with it. Now it's Mexico's turn. Great switch of the play. Antuna. Romo. Back for Uriel Antuna. Antuna's ball across. Borges. Calm, cool, and collected on the defensive side of things for the Ticos. Borges outside of his right boot, trying to find Contreras. Montes wins the initial challenge, and then Contreras brings him down, and it's a free kick. And for those just catching up on the Gold Cup action today, Panama beating Qatar by 4-0 earlier to advance to the semifinals. They will get either the US or Canada, who play tomorrow. Meanwhile, Pineda trying to continue his run into the penalty area. He is stood up. Romo wins back possession for Mexico. So Ismael Diaz hat-trick for Panama that sees them go through. Edgar Barcenas started the scoring for the Canalman. Here's Orbelin Pineda. He's already scored a great goal at this tournament. He slides in Martin, he goes down. It's a penalty. Martin wins a spot kick for Mexico inside of 5 minutes at the start of the second half. And El Tri get a huge chance here to take the lead from the penalty spot. Kendall Waston's challenge is what brings Martin down in the penalty area. There is contact. Does Martin maybe throw himself to the ground there? There's certainly enough contact. Will VAR uphold the decision? We are awaiting confirmation on that. Mexico are deciding who is going to take the penalty. Orbelin Pineda has the ball at the moment, and it appears the spot kick has been confirmed. Martin brought down. An opportunity knocks for Orbelin Pineda. He is entrusted to take this all-important spot kick for Mexico. Pineda scored against Honduras on match day 1. He now is entrusted, it appears, to take this crucial penalty. There's still some things to be worked out, though, as far as Chamorro and company, getting everyone else outside of the penalty area, of course. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Costa Rica hoping that Kevin Chamorro can come up with a huge save here. He's asking the heavens to help him here. Kevin Chamorro knows how important this moment is in the game. Orbelin Pineda plays for Ike Athens for his club football. He steps up here for Mexico in this Gold Cup quarterfinal, and he scores. Orbelin Pineda converts. Mexico's moment arrives. And El Tri strike first in this Gold Cup quarterfinal. Arlington erupts. Mexico lead by a 0-0. And there was never any doubt, was there? Pineda knew exactly what he wanted to do. No chance for Chamorro. And Pineda is the right man for the job for Mexico here. Crucial conversion for El Tri. And they come out with a huge start to the second half and a crucial opening goal. And a great celebration to match. That's what it means, potentially, for El Tri. And Costa Rica have to find a response in this second half. Pineda's second goal of the Gold Cup, and it's his most important so far. how will that change the complexion of this quarterfinal? Costa Rica more than up to the challenge so far, but Waston's challenge leads to the penalty. Pineda makes no mistake. And now Costa Rica are the ones up against it here, yet again against Mexico. The goal scorer Pineda and Chavez over the free, I should say the corner. In by Chavez. Oh, it's a free header and it fell for Martin in the end. Chamorro snuffs out the chance. Well, it was Vasquez who got his head to it first. And maybe Martin might be in again. Waston gets the challenge right that time. And now Costa Rica try to pick up the pieces themselves here. That was a late challenge from, was it Edson Alvarez? Yellow card is out. The look at it here, it was Azofeifa on the turn, and oh yes, Edson Alvarez. He's very much the guilty party there, and it is a yellow card. Can Costa Rica find a riposte here? They've created chances, there's no question about that. Can they take one? Alcocer weaving his way through. He stood up in the end. Chavez does ever so well and wins Mexico a free kick to alleviate the pressure. Well, now Costa Rica in the middle of the cauldron here. Can they fight back? After Orbelin Pineda finds the net via a penalty conversion for Mexico. Or can this be Mexico's moment to really take control of this Gold Cup quarterfinal? Sanchez. Martin couldn't quite get it through into the penalty area. Borges controls, and now Azofeifa can lead Costa Rica forward here. That's a brilliant ball out wide. Anthony Contreras trying to find some space. Teammates arriving here. It's also Borges. Campbell. Joel Campbell trying to find some space. His cross was blocked. Now then, chance to cross this into the middle. Ochoa is able to snuff it out as Valverde tried to find a teammate in the center of the penalty area for Costa Rica. It's a good response from the Ticos, but Ochoa gets there before Contreras had a sniff at it. Chavez. Mexico in the Gold Cup quarterfinals in their last, well now 9 if you include tonight. 15-2. They've outscored their opponents at this stage of the competition in their most recent fixtures in it at this quarterfinal hurdle. And the great tournament for Orbelin Pineda continues. Scored a brilliant goal on match day 1. And he backs it up here in the quarterfinals with yet another. The last 2 Gold Cups have been very good for Orbelin Pineda, no question about that. Now then, Romo for Mexico. Sliding in Martin. Waston just touches it away from him in the nick of time for Costa Rica. Now Nunez leads the break for the Ticos. Campbell in support. Alcocer on the overlap. Campbell tries to slide it through for Contreras. It is cut out. Borges on the recycle. Campbell again, dispossessed. Now then, Martin for Mexico. His pass is cut out by Vargas. Romo forces Antuna a little bit further back here for L3. Edson Alvarez, this is Chavez. Vasquez, the goal scorer, Pineda. Chavez, lovely spread out wide for Antuna. Calvo defending, great give and go, great work by Calvo to erase any further action. Contreras is fouled, and it is a free kick for Costa Rica. Just over half an hour left. Well, the telling blow so far. Henry Martin winning a penalty for Mexico. And then Orbelin Pineda converting that penalty. Nerves of steel from him at the penalty spot. And Mexico are in charge so far in Arlington. Can Costa Rica come from behind? Is in behind, looking for Valverde. Alcocer. So Feifa and Alcocer linking up. It's a Costa Rican throw-in on this near side. Half an hour left, and looks like Aaron Suarez is getting prepared here for the Ticos, knowing that fresh legs might be needed here. Get themselves back in the contest. Mexico coming into the night, we're tied for the most shots taken at the Gold Cup with 70. That was coming into the game tonight. They've continued to create chances. They've continued to knock on the door, and it did finally open for them via the penalty spot. Switched over to the far side, Ariel Antuna. Cross into the middle is dangerous. Borges is on the case for Costa Rica. Calvo looks to follow up. Kept alive by Sanchez. Lovely spinning move by Sanchez into the middle. It's Luis Romo. He tries to poke it towards goal. It is blocked away. Nunez comes out with it for Costa Rica. Now can they counterattack? Contreras. He stood up. Mexico come back the other way. Antuna. And Contreras does very well to win the ball right back for the Ticos. Borges. Calvo. Out wide it comes on this near side. Be a chance here for Valverde. Alcocer making a run up ahead. Nice chop back by Valverde, looking to change the point of the attack. Borges. Alcocer. Cross into the middle, took a deflection on the way through. Edson Alvarez reacted a bit late, but he does get his head to it, and it is out for a corner. As Costa Rica do make the first change of the night, Aaron Suarez will come on, and Wilmer Azofeifa, who's on a yellow card, will exit as we do revisit the challenge and the penalty. That is the difference so far in this quarterfinal. You see there Chamorro leaning the wrong way, and Orbelin Pineda converting for Mexico. That has them in front for now, although it's headed back across by Calvo, and it goes over the top of Ochoa's goal. A lot happening there just after the substitution was made, and Calvo just a whisker over the bar. Again, Azofeifa came off. Aaron Suarez is on for Costa Rica. So that leaves just Edson Alvarez on a yellow card between the two sides. Campbell. Alcocer keeps possession. Pokes it out, but Campbell couldn't get to it. Pineda, the goal scorer, comes out with it. Martin looking for Antuna. And it'll go back to the Ticos here in possession. And Pineda had 3 goals at the 2021 Concacaf Gold Cup. He now has 2 at the 2023 edition. And that has Mexico in front for now. They're looking for more here. Chavez trying to find either Romo or Martin, who are making great runs through the middle. It's blocked. And Mexico do keep possession. Mexico have managed the game relatively well. Only set pieces really have allowed Costa Rica to create big opportunities in this second half, and there haven't been many. Mexico have improved their set piece defense. Gallardo's ball in, Calvo heads it for Chamorro. Borges. Some pressure there from Martin, who won the penalty. Campbell. In the end, Romo wins it back for Eltri. 25 minutes plus potentially some injury time left on the back end. Costa Rica need to find an equalizer or their Gold Cup comes to an end in Arlington. Winner will face either Jamaica or Guatemala in a Las Vegas semifinal. Orbelín Pineda has Mexico with 1 foot in that semi at the moment. Alvarez. Romo. Nunez tried to win that back. Luis Romo takes aim and sends it well over the top of Chamorro's goal in the end, and it's a goal kick. Well, Romo and Pineda have been Mexico's leading goal scorers at this tournament. Luis Romo trying to recreate the magic from match day 1, but could not hit the target. Pineda's penalty conversion the difference at the moment. Can Costa Rica get this game back to level pegging? Campbell plays it into space here for the Ticos. Suarez. Suarez shoots! And it wasn't a million miles away. Encouragement from Luis Suarez. Ochoa, I think, was comfortable with it in the end. It wasn't a bad effort from the substitute. Ochoa didn't realize how close it was, I think, until the very end. And it also came close to hitting the frame. Santiago Jimenez getting his marching orders here. Might see him in a few moments. He scored on match day 2 against Haiti for Mexico in a 3-1 win. Here's Pineda, the goal scorer tonight. Leading the break for Mexico. Borges brings him down. It is a free kick. And a yellow card on top of it for the captain. I think Costa Rica are wondering where the yellow cards were for Mexico for challenges like that, but in transition, a challenge like that, if you're not able to time it up correctly, tends to see yellow appear from the referee's pocket. So more defending for Costa Rica to do here. Another look at the challenge, and it does appear he clips Pineda. Borges. He is, again, booked for the challenge. Confirmation there. Just over 20 minutes left. Mexico is getting ready. 2 changes. Jimenez, as we mentioned earlier, and Eric Sanchez He's getting ready to come on. We're told that Luis Chavez might be one of the two coming off. This might be his last act. We know he can hit them from here. Pineda is an option as well. It's Chavez! And again, you can see why he takes them. It is a really good strike, but in the end, just doesn't quite dip enough to get on target. Here come the changes. That is it for Luis Chavez. He will exit. Eric Sanchez will come on here. Santiago Jimenez will come on, and Henry Martin, who won the penalty, he's going to exit with 20 minutes plus stoppage time to play. So Sanchez for Chavez, Jimenez for Martin are the two Jaime Lozano changes here for Mexico. Well, both substitutes are applauded for their contributions tonight. And Santiago Jimenez is applauded for coming on here for Mexico. Plays for Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. Just won the Eredivisie title. Santiago Jimenez for his club side in the Netherlands, making his Gold Cup debut at this tournament, and he has already made that impact with that goal against Haiti on match day 2 in Group B. Can he help see Mexico get this over the line? Get El Tri to Vegas for a much anticipated semifinal. Orbelín Pineda has Mexico 20 minutes away from advancing once again. Does Costa Rica have a moment left in them at this tournament? They were, by some, dead and buried after match day 2 when they drew against El Salvador. Some thought there might not be enough for them to get it over the line and get into the quarterfinals, but they did it. They beat Martinique on match day 3, that epic 6-4 encounter, the highest scoring Gold Cup game ever played. But now their backs are against the wall here in Arlington, and they need a goal to potentially force extra time. That ball is floated over the top. Aaron Suarez forces the challenge from Vasquez, and it is a corner for Costa Rica here. And Joel Campbell will stride over to take it. Can Costa Rica find a late equalizing goal? Ball is floated in, and it is well read by Ochoa. There's a challenge in behind by Nunez. Mexico can use a little more time here with a free kick. For Luis Suarez in Costa Rica, it's his second straight tournament. Luis Suarez coaching Costa Rica at the Gold Cup. He led Honduras to back-to-back semifinals, 2011 and 2013. Still time for Costa Rica to save this campaign, which is currently on the brink. Here's the goal scorer for Mexico, though. Pineda into the middle. It's Pineda again. Gallardo is in support as well. Pineda dealt with by Suarez, the substitute, and Costa Rica gets a throw-in out of it. Push in the back by Jesus Gallardo. Free kick. Was that handled in behind there by Gallardo? Referee allows play to continue. Stay with Mexico on the near side. Mexico, 8-time winners of this competition. They want to add a record 9th to their trophy cabinet after what's been a tough summer so far, losing in the Nations League semis to the US, settling for 3rd in the end to make amends here at the Gold Cup. 15 minutes plus stoppage time away from advancing to a semifinal. Costa Rica still have a say. Alcocer wins the Ticos to corner. And Sanchez is a bit slow to continue for Mexico, maybe dealing with a bit of cramp. This is where Costa Rica have had their moments at this tournament, from set pieces. Aaron Suarez sends it in. And again, it is headed away by Montes. And now Mexico can break here. Pineda through the middle. Antuna out wide. Sanchez in the middle as well. Ball is played in. Antuna has it blocked away by Valverde. Antuna can recycle the possession. Vasquez. Gallardo. The substitute, Eric Sanchez. Romo back for Edson Alvarez. Mexico trying to manage the game while also looking for what could be a killer second goal if they can get it. Vasquez through the middle. It is Eric Sanchez. And Chamorro makes a comfortable save in the end. Costa Rica again have to build towards an equalizer. And it went to penalties the last time these two met at this stage of the Gold Cup. Mexico won 5-4 on spot kicks. Calvo. Still plenty of time for Costa Rica, but they need to score a goal. Their Gold Cup run will end once again at the hands of Mexico. Here is Suarez. Valverde. Back in for Aaron Suarez. Suarez chips it. It's headed down and headed in the end right to Ochoa. Jorge Sanchez with the crucial header. And Mexico survived that Costa Rican attack. Waston heading it forward. Gallardo concedes a throw-in to Costa Rica, who are getting a change ready. Zuhander Zuniga, it appears, is getting ready to come on for the Ticos. We will await confirmation. And Pablo Vargas out wide. Good challenge again by Sanchez defensively for Mexico. Jorge Sanchez, of course. Alcocer, who's vibrant in the first half. Haven't seen him as much in the second half. And the wave has broken out in Arlington. Mexico hoping they can see this out with their fans behind them. They do get a free kick at the tail end of this sequence. But the job is not quite done yet for El Tri. They still have to see out these last 12 plus minutes. Montes. Switching it to Gallardo. Romo. Back for Edson Alvarez, who also plays in the Dutch league, plays for Ajax. Montes. Romo tries to sweep the ball ahead. It does hit off of Francisco Calvo. Bounce goes Mexico's way. It is a throw-in with just over 10 minutes of the 90 left in this quarterfinal. Two more tomorrow, of course. Guatemala and Jamaica kick us off, and the defending champions, the US, take on Canada. Both of those games will be in Cincinnati, Ohio tomorrow. Panama and possibly Mexico will wait, but Costa Rica has 10 minutes to change the narrative. Romo over the top, and Chamorro is there. Orbelín Pineda's goal has Mexico in the box seat at the moment. That is given away. Pineda gets onto it here for Mexico. He shoots! Trying to curl it through traffic, but Kevin Chamorro was well positioned to deal with it. And a little nudge there. It's going to be a free kick for Costa Rica. And Mexico are getting ready to change as well. Costa Rica now have 2 changes upcoming. We'll see if there's more to come. Campbell. Suarez. Nunez, and again, back for the substitute, Aaron Suarez. Campbell. Can Costa Rica find a way through? That could help. That's a free kick. And Costa Rica could get more numbers inside of Mexico's penalty area. And it is going to be 3 changes here for Costa Rica. We mentioned Zuniga is coming on. Juan Madrigal will join him. And Pablo Arboin is also going to come on. Calvo will exit for Costa Rica for that first change. And again, Madrigal takes his place. Alcocer, he's going to come off as well. Zuniga takes his spot. That's 2 of the 3 changes. And the final is Christopher Nunez coming off. Pablo Arboin comes on. A trio of changes here for the Ticos, as desperate times have called for desperate measures here for Luis Suarez's group. Can one of the Ticos find a late moment of magic here to potentially send this tie to extra time? Campbell on the free kick. He's headed down outside of the penalty area. Eric Sanchez, beg your pardon, out for Romo. He sends it forward. Nice header further forward by Valverde. Now Aaron Suarez. Sent back by Alvarez. Celso Borges does well in tight quarters there. Campbell dispossessed by the goal scorer Pineda. Alvarez. And Tuna. Sees it go out of play. Arboin on the cover. And now Mexico is going to make some changes here. Jorge Sanchez is going to come off. Julian Araujo is going to come on. The second change is going to be Roberto Alvarado, who is going to come on for Mexico here. As you see, Julian Araujo is about to go to Barcelona. He's on. We will see the goal scorer, Orbelín Pineda, make way. His contribution could be worth oh so much here for Mexico. His penalty has them on the verge of another Gold Cup semifinal. Alvarado takes his place. So Araujo comes on with Alvarado. Sanchez and Pineda come off. 5.5 minutes of the 90 left, and then there'll be some stoppage time on the back end. That's how much time Costa Rica has left. Araujo's early first touch. Plays it through in behind. Mexico have some numbers forward here. A shot does come in! And it is just wide of the post from Jimenez. Well, didn't have enough time and space to find a teammate. He thought, why not go for the killer blow? But Chamorro had it covered down to his left. That is a free kick. Madrigal gets possession back for the Ticos. 5 minutes left. Can Costa Rica find a late moment? Can they save their Gold Cup run here? Challenge comes in on Alvarado. It's a free kick for Mexico, just in front of Jaime Lozano. Mexico can again manage the game here down the stretch. Ball is curled in. Oh, the header is down by Jimenez, and again Chamorro. He's there to make the save. Again, Mexico come close to wrapping the tie up. Jimenez has had a very good tournament so far. Can't take the chance. Here's Contreras on the other end for Costa Rica, and the ball's played in towards Campbell, and he couldn't get his head on it. Alvarado for Mexico stays on his feet. Couple of challenges come in, and he does oh so well to win Mexico a set piece. A yellow card has been brandished here. Well, that might be for Francisco Calvo, who's on the bench, just got substituted out earlier in the half. He's the one shaking his head. It appears the referee has gone over and booked him on the bench. Didn't pick up a yellow in the game, but it appears he has after he's left. And now Mexico are in behind here. Roberto Alvarado plays it across, it's in! Eric Sanchez scores for Mexico! And with 3 minutes left, Elche have certainly booked their place in Vegas for the semifinals now, surely. It's 2-0. Mexico were looking for the killer blow. They do find it. It's the substitutes combining. Alvarado to Eric Sanchez, who is on the end to tuck it home for Elche. And Mexico now are surely going to be making the trip from Arlington to Las Vegas for the semis now. They lead 2-0 deep into the match. And it appears that Costa Rica's kryptonite has come back to bite them again at the Gold Cup. Mexico always seem to have the performance required to knock the Ticos out at this stage. And it appears they have done so yet again. Pineda and now Eric Sanchez. Now, Edson Alvarez. He's down on the ground here for Mexico. He is in some pain and discomfort. That is not a good sign for Elche. Holding it appears to be his left leg. Here's how it happened. When he was bumped in behind, Waston impeded his progress, and then was the way that Edson Alvarez landed as well. That will add on to stoppage time, although Luis Suarez's group now needs borderline a miracle here to save their Gold Cup hopes. Mexico just seems to have Costa Rica's number at the Gold Cup, and history is seemingly repeating itself here in Arlington, Texas. The second goal, Eric Sanchez. It is a very nice finish in traffic. And Jimmy Lozano's boys seem to be on their way to Vegas now for a semi-final date with either Jamaica or Guatemala. Still concerned, though, for Edson Alvarez. This will impact stoppage time, you would think. We're about to enter it. But now Costa Rica need to score twice if they are going to force extra time. Mexico will make a change. Israel Reyes is going to come on here. We have entered 5 added minutes at the end of this Gold Cup quarterfinal. And that is tough for Mexican fans to see. Edson Alvarez is going to be replaced here. Hopefully that doesn't impact Mexico down the road at this Gold Cup. We will see. Israel Reyes is on to replace him. We are into the 5 added minutes. Suarez. Ball is played through. Boston, who's been more in the attacking third, is able to get onto it initially, and then Joel Campbell, ambitious from outside the penalty area, hits it over the bar and out. 2015, 2019, Costa Rica got to the quarterfinals. They met Mexico. Hopefully advanced at both of those tournaments and won both of those tournaments as well. Maybe it's a good omen for Mexico here in 2023. Costa Rica running out of time at this Gold Cup. They did so well to save their Gold Cup run on match day 3 in Group C. It appears that they are about to run out of the magic here in Arlington. Pineda and Suarez have Mexico on the brink of another semifinal appearance at the Gold Cup. Contreras is in for Costa Rica here. It falls for Campbell. Campbell now swarmed by Mexico defenders. Can he pick somebody out? Tried to. He's headed away. Shot does come in. It's a stinging effort. But in the end, it is well wide from Jeffrey Valverde. And half of the minimum of 5 added minutes have come and gone. Really, the penalty changed the game at the start of the second half. It was won inside of 5 minutes at the start of the second half. Martin won the penalty. Orbelin Pineda converted the penalty, his second Gold Cup of the Gold Cup goal of the campaign. That got Mexico off and running, and they have not looked back since. Costa Rica have certainly created chances in this game, but they've not been clinical enough. Now they need to score twice in 2 minutes to save themselves here. Waston gets the ball into the middle here for Costa Rica. Shot does come in. It's deflected on its way through. Alvarado sees it go out, and Costa Rica have a corner that they have to take quickly here. Campbell does wait for some numbers to come through, but they have to take it quickly. In by Campbell. He's headed away by Jimenez for Mexico. And then Campbell does commit a foul, it appears, here as Arboin took the ball away. And maybe got the worst of it on the way through that challenge. Mexico get a set piece, and they have about a minute left until they can book their tickets for Las Vegas for the semifinals. Again, 6 times Mexico and Costa Rica now have met in the knockout stages. Mexico has advanced every single time, and it has not changed here tonight. It's been a great atmosphere in Arlington. Costa Rica have certainly played their part in this game and in this tournament. They're always a tough out, the Ticos. But Mexico has always had the recipe required, and they have been Costa Rica's kryptonite in the Gold Cup over the years. It has happened again here in Arlington, Texas. We've had the 5 added minutes. Contreras controls, and that is full time. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Mexico beats Costa Rica at the Gold Cup yet again in the quarterfinals. They win by 2-0, and they march on to Las Vegas for the semifinals of the Concacaf Gold Cup once again. Goals from Orbelin Pineda from the penalty spot, and then the substitute Eric Sanchez in the 87th make sure that Mexico stay around yet again in the latter stages of the Gold Cup. They move on to the semifinals, and Costa Rica bow out. Mexico win it by 2-0.
Don Luis Fernando, Costa Rica mejora para llegar a competir a México, pero ¿por qué queda eliminado?
Bueno, hay unas equivocaciones, sobre todo en